Homelander here. Subscribe to Raze Chaos. Because Homelander said so. Otherwise, get the fuck out of here.
And welcome back, everybody. My name is Raze Chaos, and oh yeah, do not adjust your YouTube. This is not another short. This is a Wednesday with a new comic book video. A new comic book cover. It took a while, but yeah, we are so excited to be here. And I am coming back strong because I am coming back with a 1998's Daredevil #1. And this is such a big deal. This was such a big deal even at the time. It's a sweet little Jimmy Palmiotti cover. And yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous with the upside down flow, which obviously is with the cover, with the pop itself inside. Got him getting ready to toss. I think the biggest difference here is that on the cover, he's got a lot more line on his billy club, but obviously you would have had this entire thing full with that. But we're going to go ahead and put this guy away, and we are going to talk about this because there's plenty to talk about. Like I said, there was a lot to talk about here. This came back 1998. This was the first, I guess you could say, this is the second first issue of Daredevil. And yes, that means that we didn't get another. The first one we got was actually in 1964, and that Daredevil series ran 380 issues before they finally rebooted it, and it ebbed and flowed. And towards the end there, it was almost unreadable, from what I understand. I mean, I have to confess that I wasn't even reading at the time. It was just kind of like, okay, it's just Daredevil. They hadn't pumped any new life into him for a while, so they just decided we're going to restart this thing. And they did it in a big way because they came and they brought a certain movie director to frickin' helm this thing. And that movie director was Kevin Smith of Jay and Silent Bob, Clerks, all that fun stuff. He came back, and essentially this was his first outing as far as writing a comic book, and he didn't know how to do it. The issue was delayed, which is actually a trademark of Kevin Smith's. It delayed and delayed and delayed, and this is one of the few situations in which they basically allowed it to go with the Marvel way of writing, where the writer gives a synopsis to the artist, and the artist basically draws out the story, and the writer comes in and fills in the dialogue. That was very much populated by Stan Lee, but they kind of did a almost version of that with this because it was taking so long, and basically, yeah. When they finally got that first issue out, Kevin Smith realized how he really had to tone back his dialogue, because you had all this great artwork, but then you had lots and lots of word balloons covering the whole thing. And so it was a learning process for him, but by the end of the issue, it all kind of by the end of the story arc, it kind of ironed out. And that basically allowed Kevin Smith to move on and make other comics, some his own. He went to DC to do Green Arrow. So yeah, it was beneficial. And yeah, I won't say that his comic book writing is as entertaining as his movies by any means. Actually, I think the ones that he created, the Clerks comics that he has made, and Jay and Silent Bob comics that he's made in the past, they actually work better, in my opinion, than some of this stuff, because my biggest complaint with this actual story arc is that it feels like he's trying to show off how much he already knows about the characters. And it's just kind of like, yeah, to have the character make references to stuff that they did in the past, yeah, it'll let you know the writer had read that before, but the character knows what they've done. The characters know what each others have done. It's like, yeah, it kind of feels a little redundant. But it is a great issue, and it was very exciting to get at the time, definitely, because, like I said, there was 380 issues of Daredevil before we got to our second #1, and now I think there's like several at this point with miniseries and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, they kind of ran the gamut with that long-running series, as opposed to shortening them like they do now, where you get these story, where you can get like a full-on miniseries, where you'll get a contained story that will fit nicely into a graphic novel. And this was also the time where they really started making story arcs specifically designed to be put into graphic novel form. So, yeah, it was a very exciting time with a lot of new stuff that is now commonplace today, but was brand new to us at the time. It was very cool. One thing I do want to mention, I don't remember, honestly, because I honestly haven't read this story in a long time. Kevin Smith wanted, since it was his first comic book, he wanted to make a Jay and Silent Bob cameo to put into this. But Jay and Silent Bob are not Marvel characters. So he got together with the artist and found a very, very clever way of giving Jay and Silent Bob a cameo in his first Daredevil work, in his first comic book work, legitimate comic book work, mainstream. I don't know how to say legitimate. His first mainstream comic book work. And it's a real Easter egg if you can find it. And even at the time, it was a big deal trying to find it. And you kind of got to know a little something in order to actually find it. But I would be interested in knowing how many people actually know what that is. And I almost don't want you to put it in the comments. If you've got me on Instagram, message me on Instagram and let me know that you know what it is. You know, say what it is, and I'll see if you're right or not. Or if you really want to know, message me on Instagram, and I will fill you in if you're really dead on knowing it. But this is a really great thing, and I love the fact that they did the stand to make him upside down, and yeah, I'm just kind of rambling on here. This was a great comic to use as my return to getting and doing more comic cover videos. We went on a little bit of a drought because they weren't putting them out, but once they did, they just started chucking them out like crazy. And I think they're still putting them out. So, yes, Raze has got a nice stack to make plenty of these videos of Funko's comic book covers, because they're my favorite things that he does. And I even do a playlist of it where you can check out any of them that I've already done. See if there's one that you may have missed. But aside from the Star Wars, I've been getting every single one of them. And I'm not going to go into why I don't do the Star Wars, because I've done it. If you watch one of my previous videos, I've mentioned it there. But yeah, I'm glad you've come back to my fun little comic book cover videos. I hope you stick around. I hope if you're new, you go and explore some more. It's every Wednesday. Every Wednesday that I have one, I will do it. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now. So you have a great day, and never forget that life is full of odd moments. You never know when you're going to be defined.